Hey, you there. Thank you for watching, and welcome to Forge Lines Forever. Today I have a 5v5 custom match here on the most amazing Noxus map generator. So let's go ahead and introduce our teams and our players, starting off with Team 1 in the Northwest, ending with Team 2 in the Southeast. Starting off with Team 1, let's go Southern player. We have in Pac-Man Yellow, it is Cascade. He's playing as a UEF. He is a 2,000 rated player. He is tied with somebody else on his team for a highest rated player on his team. Next door to him is that player with which he is tied with. It is Ocpuck playing as a Cybran. He is a, again, 2,000 rated player in Chevy Crimson. Tied with Cascade again for highest rated player on his team. We have Amygdala playing as a UEF in Snow White. He is a 1,700. To his northeast, we have in Ruby Red another UEF. It is Moss Mayhem playing as a UEF. He is a 1,500. And rounding out Team 1's lineup in Tropical Ocean Blue, it is Clinch playing as a Cybran. He is a 1,300. Over Team 1 side of the map, they have 3 UEF and 2 Cybrans, no Aeons and no Seraphim for Team 1. Starting off with Team 2's northern player, we have in Batman Gray, it is Evan. He's playing as a UEF. He is a 1,700. Next door to him in Imperial Gray, it is Yoji playing as a Cybran. He is at 2,100. He's the highest rated player on Team 2 and in the game overall. To his southeast in the middle, we have Velaron. He's playing as a UEF. He is in Barbie Pink as a 1,700. In Regal Purple, we have Mint Alex. He's playing as a Seraphim. He is a 1,400. The one and only Seraphim of the game. And to his east, we have Janana playing as a UEF in Royal Blue. He is a 1,400. So for Team 2 side of the map, they also have 3 UEF, same as Team 1, but they have 1 Cybran and 1 Seraphim, trading out one of Team 1's Cybrans for that Seraphim, which means both Team 1 and Team 2 both lack Aeon technologies, which means there are no Aeon players. Apologies to those loyal to the princess. Hopefully you enjoy the game nonetheless. And for these 10 players on the map, let's take a look at the reclaim situation. Currently sitting at 20,000 mass, and reclaim makes the math in my head super easy. 2K mass per player. And there's no 1,000 plus groupage or clumpage of reclaim on the map, but there are close to that. There's a 780 here. There's a 600 down here. Another almost 700 down there. And, of course, just various amounts of mexes, not mexes, but reclaim dotted on the map. There's also another 600 up there next to Moss Mayhem's position. We do see in terms of the mex locations for the map, there is a decent amount of them. We do see, let's say, Team 1 on the northeastern side, Team 2 on the, Team 1 on the southern side, Team 2 on the eastern side. I know I'd confuse those two at some point. So for Team 1, there is a Trimix position here, and then another one close to the middle. There's also a 6-star mix position right in front of Cascade, with another 5-star mech position, which is being shared by a couple players on Team 1. There are some mexes in the middle of the map right about here. And, of course, there are some mexes dotted up in the north. So it's going to be a little bit of scrambling, especially in the northeast, southwest, and the middle for mexes. These kind of southern and northern positions where we see currently Mouse Mayhem being are going to be pretty much firmly in Team 1 and Team 2's hands respectively, but for the most part it's going to be scramble, scramble, scramble for the nice little dotted, not dotted line, but line down the middle of not only mexes but reclaim as well. Taking a look at players and where they are headed off to in this game, we did note that Mouse Mayhem is already in that northern side. He's probably going to keep pushing eastward. In the northwest, we do see Clinch, Amygdala, and Ocpuck heading to the middle. And I would not be surprised if seeing Cascade head more to the southwest. We already see units dropped off by Amygdala to grab the southwestern corner. For Team 2, it's pretty much the same. We have 1 player for Team 2, Velaron, moving northward. We have at least 2 players for Team 2 heading to the middle, with maybe a third on the way from Jenna. Oh, no, looks like he's going southwest. And then Mint Alex is already on his way to that southwestern side of the map. So a little difference for Team 2. They're sending 2 to the west instead of 3 to the middle like Team 1 is doing. But for the most part, it's about the same. I wouldn't be surprised to see maybe Genino or even Mint Alex, if the middle was kind of under siege, shift northward a little bit and go up this little hillside there. There's a lot of avenues into the middle for both teams, not only just the middle causeway, but there's a lot of avenues from both the northeast and the southwest. So there's really going to be a lot of focus on locking down positions as well as watching out for any sort of hook maneuvers or outflanking maneuvers, because it can easily be overwhelmed if another force from one other lane decides to crash on into the middle. We see some gun upgrades starting here for our players. We have 2 for Team 2, both of the Gray players, that being Evan and Yoji, going for their respective guns, and then Team 1's Okpuk going for his. I wouldn't be surprised to see Cascade go for one shortly. And it actually looks like Amygdala is going to be the one heading to the south, not Cascade. But again, for the most part, it's one player heads one direction, one player heads the other direction. Doesn't really matter which one goes in that direction, just that one is headed that way. We do see that clinch, unbeknownst to me, isn't going to go to the middle. It's going to go to the east. So it's actually going to be a 2-to-1 advantage for Team 1 in the north, 2-to-1 advantage for Team 2 in the south, and then a 2v2 fight in the middle. Nobody is staying in their main base. There's a lot of focus on getting to the middle and getting as much of that reclaim as possible. We see that eco is already getting up into the 200s roughly for both teams, and then reclaims getting into about the 10k realm. Stealth started on board Okpuk's commander, and we see Cascade going for his gun. Again, Team 2 is behind in the gun upgrades. It's 2v1 in the middle for now. It looks like Amygdala was still on his way, kind of getting bogged down and booped by Cascade's forces. Gun started for Mint Alex in the south. T2 started for Mouse. And we see some units inbound from Team 2's Evan trying to take this northeastern corner. T1 PD might finish. Maybe, maybe not. There's some units trying to run some interference. It's going to be very close. Oh, it does finish off. It will stave off at least some of those units from Team 2. It won't stop the entire inbound aggression, because there's even more shots inbound from those Lobos. We see that Valorant is still catching up to his forces in the northeastern corner. Stealth is now done. Goes straight for... Nope, not goes for Nano yet. Gun almost done for Cascade in the middle. We do see Amygdala pushing in. We see some forces inbound from Mint Alex, just full sending it to the southwestern corner. And then now they're hooking more northwest-ish, now more north, to essentially surround this position for Amygdala. And that's partially because that position was established by those engineers that were dropped off very early in the game. No T2 air as of yet that I've noticed for... Oh, it has been started, but not online yet. Pretty much everybody else on Team 2 has T2 land, but one is almost done for Mint Alex. Team 1, T2, no T2 yet, and T2. So the upgrades for facilities are either on their way or done or almost done. So we'll see what ends up being the distribution of air facilities. Again, it's probably going to be 1v1 in air for the beginning, as it usually is in 5v5s, but eventually I feel like at least 2 players for each team are going to dip their toes at least a little bit into air. A couple of mech brains being absolutely demolished by some strikers. We see first com-on-com action might occur between Amygdala and Mint Alex. Possibly, maybe. Mint Alex has the gun upgrade online, but in the northeast, looks like it's going to be very close as well with Clinch versus Velarone. In the middle of the map, we see Evan sizing up Okpuk. Evan going for a Team 1 gun emplacement, and Evan just... again, body blocking with his commander to get that one online. Looks like he actually cancels literally 2 hit points before he finishes it off. I feel like that's kind of weird to not just spend the 1 extra second roughly to finish it. Northeast corner, southwest corner, things are starting to get close to one another. Large group of forces for Yoji backing him up. He has gun online. Jenna has gun online. Mint Alex has gun online. Cascade has gun online. The only player for Team 2 that does not have a gun is Velarone in the northeast, going for Team 1 PD emplacements to protect himself and also give him just a little bit more punching power in case forces are inbound. But looks like Amygdala and Mint Alex trade some blows. There it is. If I didn't catch it earlier, I'm catching it now. Mint Alex, of course, has the advantage with the gun upgrade online, and that will force back Amygdala. He's walking not in a great position. I don't know why he's moving in on his own. He needs to get behind his forces and get some gun upgrade online soon. Team 2 is making some inroads, but they're creating this really peninsula effect where we have forces from Team 1 that could easily go from the right side, go in from the left side that we see now. Look at this. They're going straight in. They're going to cut off supply lines, and if they're not going to get too far into Team 2's territory, they can always just turn around and go right back the way that Yoji is coming and essentially sandwich him between Ogpuck and himself. So definitely needs to watch out for any sort of maneuvering of major groupage of units. Guns started from Amygdala going up pretty quickly, already at 70%. That will finish and put him on even footing, at least for range against Mint. Gun upgrade almost done for Valeron. This would be a nice grab by Mouse, denying the gun upgrade. I feel like even if he does get in range now, the gun will finish, and that will allow Valeron to be able to push back a little bit on that front. And now everybody on Team 2 has a gun upgrade. The only players in the game that don't have one, I believe, actually, I think everybody has one now. Yeah, that's everybody in the game sub, let's say roughly 11 minutes, has at least, at minimum, a gun upgrade online. Mouse and Clinch, it's 2v1ing. Valeron is going to be pushed back on that eastern side. We see forces inbound from Evan to assist. Now we see Ogpuck pushing into the middle. Yoji forced to fall back just with his commander. Again, we could see a 2v1ing right here. That's not good for Ogpuck, but he has to be careful because he doesn't want to be the first departure of the game. No one likes to be the first departure of the game. Somebody has to be it, but no one wants to be it. Shield started for Cascade on board his UEF commander. Amygdala shooting into Alex's commander. We do see some Ilshis online. Nice veterancy for Amygdala. And Vigenina is now there to assist T2PD online behind Amygdala, doing some great damage on either the comms or the forces that are just running straight into Amygdala's gun. We do see Evan starts and then ends a nano repair upgrade. Pushback from Evan is slowing down the aggression against Valeron. He has dropped into the lowish yellows. Needs to be careful. And shield almost about 20% done for Cascade in the middle. And we see Yoji being hit by Ogpuck's comm. Again, it's gun versus gun stealth. The advantage being more hit points, veterancy, and the fact that Team 2, unless they have visual contact or Omni in the area, they can't see Ogpuck, at least, again, without that vision or Omni sensor in range. T2PD doing a great job of forcing back both of these commanders. Jenna dropping into the lowest yellows, almost at 1-star event. Amygdala up to 2 stars now. Ilshi's doing a great job of allowing Mint Alex to escape. More and more units are inbound. That's only going to feed the veterancy for Team 1's Amygdala in the southwest. Shield now at almost 50%. It's about 40 or so. And now we see Mouse Mayhem moving in to go after Evan. We could see Ogpuck push into the northeast and grab Evan's comm. Yoji is continuing to fall back. Eastern side, a little bit of resurgence for Team 2 for Valeron, but again, that's partially driven by the fact of the distraction right here that's happening. Comm become action now between Evan, Mouse, Mayhem focusing on the units, not focusing on the comm. Lots of those pillars and mongoose in the mix to really just rip apart those pillars from Team 2. And it's UEF versus UEF, T2 vet on board, so even though he's not looking too hot, it's 9,000 versus 10,000 hit points, so really not a huge discrepancy. It's mainly just the perception of the discrepancy between those two commanders. Shield now over 50% here for Team 1's Cascade. Nano started by Mint Alex, if I can almost say Minx, and Jenna is assisting with that upgrade. And Amygdala still at 2-star hit. There's a lot of pushback from Team 2. They really want to grab the southwestern corner. Realistically, they want to grab both of the corners right here, but I mean, Team 1's Amygdala is really holding that position. The only real way I think Team 2 can grab this is if they send a force all the way west and try to squeak on by, and then they send another force in at a different, attack vector, and then either continue northward or then stop, turn around, and then just sandwich that position. So it's going to be a very tight situation. We see reinforcements from Cascade, who doesn't need them in the middle. A little bit of Firebase Wars coming online here for Team 2 in the middle, but they've fallen back a little bit. And speaking of falling back, Evan has fallen back. He's up to 2-star vet now. And now we see Ogpuck has joined his other red teammate of Mouse. and grabbing that Trimax position for their team. Both of them have gun. One of them has stealth. One of them has T2. One of them has 2-star vet. One of them has 3. So a lot of hit points between the two, a lot of damage between the two. And Velabone is pushing in to Clinch's position. Clinch, of course, I think is the air player for Team 1, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, he is. So he's not focusing as much on land, which is obviously shown by him losing the position, which is going to give Team 2 the northeastern corner. Team 1 is still holding on to that southwestern corner, and that run-by is happening. But without the secondary attack, Team 1 will stop this, receive a little bit of damage from these T2 mexes going down. There's a Percy or a few. Actually, there's a lot more inbound from Cascade, and that's going to stop that. One, of course, the problems for this run-by is that they have to go east to go anywhere more north, and there's not really any room to go anymore for those forces. More Ilshis, more Ilshis, more Ilshis for Team 2. I love the Ilshi. It's my favorite T2 unit in the game. But of course, nothing in this game is all powerful. Doesn't matter if you have, a nuke, a YOLO, a comm with a laser strapped to its chest, which is just an insane prospect to begin with. You are not invincible. Nothing is invincible, and everything can die. Clinch, again, gun versus gun, T2 and 3-star vet. So 18.2k hit points versus 11,000. So that's 7.2 thousand more hit points for Team 2. Now we're seeing Mouse Manos start to push in, and now with the pushing back into the eastern position, he loses the territory here once again to Evan. It's a really just flip-floppy position where either he pushes into the east or northeast and he forces back Vellerone, and he loses this, or he pushes into the middle and he pushes obviously back Team 2, but then Team 2 goes to the north. It's very much a, kind of a will they, won't they almost. Will they go this way? If they do, that'll happen. If that happens, then the other thing will happen. It's very much a seesaw kind of effect. Nano starter on board. Jenina's comm assisted, of course, after the, not a fact of the, maybe we'll see some assistance from an engineer, paying back the favor for Mint Alex's Nano, who is now almost at T2 engineering suite. Oh, engineer, yeah, but maybe there'll be some assistance. He is also the air player for Team 2, getting ASFs online. So it's going to be UEF versus Cybran in the air. So better gunships for air-to-ground weaponry for Team 2, better AA for Team 1. ASFs, I mean, for the most part, I feel like the Wasp is better than the Gemini, but I feel like it's in lower numbers, the Gemini is better, and in higher numbers, the Wasp is better. Is that a Ravager lineup? No, that's just a lot of Triads shooting at those Percys. I do see a couple of Mongi, so they have the Ravager style Gatling gun on board. But now we see Ogpuck, because Evan's pushing with his forces, he's getting pushed, and it's a huge just back, forth, back, forth, back, forth. There's no relative safety. There's no easy pushing, but Team 2 has now conquered the northeastern corner, so they now own the entire eastern edge of the map. Team 1, again, have owned the western edge of the map for a while now. And in the middle, once again, we have two engagements. We have Cascade going after Yoji's position. Lots of Team 1 PD online, but of course, Percys have a couple of things in their favor. Lots of hit points and lots of alpha damage. They do all of their damage. The only downside with doing all your damage in the initial engagement is if you miss, you have to reload and you're not doing damage. And it's just not great if you miss. It's kind of like a sniper. You do a lot of damage all at once, but then you have to time reload or re-aim or whatever. That's always the downside in like those team tactic, not team fight tactics, but those squad tactics games, XCOM, Gears, Tactics. There's that new Star Wars game that's coming out at some point. That was announced a month ago or so ago. I forget how long ago it was. That seems exciting. So I will probably be playing that on the channel whenever it releases. Probably next year. If it releases next year, we'll see. So, South, Jenina now has Nano online. Nano and T2. Gun, Nano, and T2 online for Mint. Just like tripping over my words today. Shield Star for Jenina. Really stacking up those beefy upgrades for the UEF. Going to give him an additional 19,000 hit points with that shield upgrade. It is a very impressive shield, to be fair. Only beat out by the Aeon Heavy Shield, but the Aeon Heavy Shield needs 2 upgrades to get to its full strength. The UEF does not. And Ogpuck is being pushed back by the Percys. He knows not to go up against them without having something to distract those Percy shots. Because again, not every play, but a lot of players know being caught unawares with, you know, even 3 or 4 Percys could really not feel good. Again, he is taking lots of damage from these Percys. He does get a rank of veterancy, though. He's up to... Ooh, that's a lot of shots to take in the face. That's got to hurt. Oh, 1,300 hit points. One more shot. There he is. Ogpuck is defeated. Just as I was talking about, he was aware of the consequences of going up against them. He dies to them. It was a lovely attempt to just keep this attack vector back, but kind of a little bit of a caster's curse there. Apologies. But he did die, I think, at pretty much the 20-minute mark, so technically he survived roughly 20 minutes. I don't know if it was a tiny bit before or a tiny bit after, but we'll just say it is, and somebody can comment during the video that, yeah, it was after or before. Or I could just look at the video while I'm editing it and whatnot. Cascade receiving a ton of damage from some tickle cannons, the Calm of Yoji, and some bricks that are now being dealt with. Percys are in, but we could see a nice little counter kill for Team 1. Looks like they are going to go for it. Yoji dropping hit points. Percy's getting back into range. Oh, they need to keep firing at the commander, not the infrastructure behind him. He drops below 45. We have the Calm inbound, emboldened by Yoji dropping. He's dropping below 2,000. The shield will save him for a brief moment. 2,000 hit points, 1,700. Is anything else crazy happening? No. Looking at the mini-map, I don't see anything. We do see Clinch is surrounded up there. I'll take a look at him for a second. I think Yoji might get away. Oh, shot inbound to a couple of the T2 mexes. Oh, he's going to get away. Ooh, that was close to the north. Clinch was starting to be surrounded by Veleron's forces, but some assistance from Mouse Mayhem helps with that a lot. That was very, very deadly. We do see now with the death of Ogpuck, the base goes to Cascade. Cascade needs to get more forces on them, which he's doing now, being assisted by Mouse Mayhem's commander to help kind of fill that gap in for a little bit. But Evan is taking the opportunity, kills off a Trimix position. Eco, I didn't even switch off from Reclaim, apologies. I keep forgetting to do that from time to time. Team 1 at 850, Team 2 670. So the Eco is favoring Team 1. And losing this Trimix position definitely hurts. We have T3 mobile artillery online, some trebuchets. And we have, I would assume, T2 artillery here shortly. More PD going for nano repair immediately. Lovely move there. Get that Calm, that nano, and get him back up to full HP, or at least try to. Advanced nano started for the only Seraphim commander of Alex in the southwest. And shield started for Janina. Still, well, not started, but still going on the way. Almost at 60%. ASFs aren't going to be too stacked up right now. It's only 22 minutes. 14 versus Mint's. Not Mint's, sorry. Janina's. 20. Okay, so it's a little bit in favor for Team 2, but again, not by much. That is the wrong player. I did it again. And not by much, about 5. So it really comes down to maybe 1 or 2-ish tight turns, or better turns. That's really about it. Shield back to full HP, or I should say capacity for Cascade. Probably want to go for Nano if he wants to stay out long term. We do have a Ravager shooting at Evan. That's not fun. He has Nano on board and goes, I don't want to get shot at by that Ravager, and decides to go home. We have Percy's and Bricks up here to the north for Cascade. This is only Percy force. The Brick force, of course, in the game very much suited to... Oh, was that a combat engineer that just died? Did I just see a combat engineer? Nice little Sparky. I think I saw that. They don't do a lot of damage, but a little bit's better than none. Anyway, the Brick is designed for more of the spam units, anything that has low HP. Percy's are designed for higher HP units, specifically experimentals, but sometimes commanders when they have 50,000+ hit points like the Seraphim can have, which is just an absolute nonsensical thing. What I am noticing, though, is Mint has Splash on board, and Amygdala does have Gun Shield in T2, but he'll lose a lot of hit points per shot from Mint. If Mint can get into range, that Calm of Team 1's Amygdala will die. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. But again, no support still isn't going to help Mint Alex by any means. So at least getting some Parashields, those T3 variety ones for the Seraphim, where they have, I think it's 10,000 capacity. There is a Monkey Lord online now for Team 1. Cascade has built the cheapest experimental in the game, at least the land side of things, being the little Monkey Lord Spider-Bot. running around this base is not going to last much longer. That thing has been rebuilt 3 or 4 times at this point. We have Cascade sending forces right down the middle. It will draw Evan's attention a little bit away, maybe allowing Mosbam to come over here, cut off the supply line, and then go in encirclement maneuver around Belleron up there. But he's doing fine for now. It's still 5v4 in favor for Team 2. And Mentalex, again, goes on his own. He does have some Ilshis now backing him up, but those Perseus are brutal. There's a bunch of T2 PD in the base that's been building for a while now. Ravager, no, that's not a Ravager. That is a Mongoose. Lots of Mongoose for Team 1. And Mint still staying alive. Almost at 5-star vet. 244 hit points in second region is a ton to have per second. It is the most you can have. Actually, it's not the most, to be fair, but the Seraphim are the ones that can have the highest amount of regen for a comm. And then Nano started for clinch in the north. We have interceptors flying over top, probably providing some coverage for maybe some T1, T2 bombers inbound. There's one. One is not going to be enough to kill off a commander. Absolutely not. You need a lot more than one. Laser started for Yoji in his base, going up quite nicely. It's actually going up really quickly. This is at 0 speed too. Looks like he had some mass in his bar. Yep, that would explain it. Now it's going up at more of a regular pace, or a normal pace that I see. Still that one Monkey Lord online. Crab thought about, Fat Boy thought about, and is being built. Air Grip being expanded upon. Fat Boy in the yellow Team 2. Fat Boy being assisted by both Janana and Belleron. Love to see the teamwork there. Fat Boy also started by Evan. No Monkey Lord. No Monkey Lord yet here for Yoji. And no chicken in the southwest for Team 2's Mint. I think he's really focusing on his experimental commander upgrades, I should say. Again, 50,000 hit points. You have a lot of hit points. And he has the splash instead of the T3 or the advanced or regular or regen. So it's going to be actually a little bit less. But he's still going to get 10%. And 10% should put him over 50,000. I think the most hit points is 51. I think it's like 5250 or something like that. So he's actually going to get, what is that? 10% of that would be 4,600. That put him, yeah, just barely over. Not just barely over, but over 50K. Anyway, northeastern corner, while I try to do math in my head really quick, we have Percy's inbound Velaround getting some T2 PD online. That will hopefully drive the Percy's away. He has more of it, you know, stacking up a little bit back here. There's some spearheads back there as well. Percy's are being headed north, or being shoved northward, but again, all this will do is pretty much put the Triad out of range. We have some forces inbound from the north to assist. They're actually shooting into a nice little shooting gallery with all these Percy's lining up to get shot at. But Velaron has to be careful. If they decide to come and say hi, that is not going to be a fun day for him. He will overcharge a couple of them. But if the Percy's focus fire on the commander, that probably will be the end of that commander for Team 2. Looks like some pinging going down from Team 1 saying target the commander. There is a parashield that will save him for at least 1 or 2 shots. Shield, not shield. The parashield is down. One more shot will kill off Velaron. There he goes. He's down. Team 2 suffers their first loss of the game while an air fight happens and Team 1 wins it. So Team 1 has air control and they kill off a player for Team 2, dropping it to a 4v4 tied-up game once again at 28 minutes. Lots of experimentals being built. We have Evan with a Fat Boy online. We have Yoji with a Fat Boy online. We have Amygdala with a Fat Boy online. Again, it's still a monkey for Cascade. And then a Fat Boy online for Mouse Mayhem. So 2 Fat Boys for each team plus a monkey. Monkey will probably die if all of those Fat Boys are shooting at one another. They'll focus the Monkey Lord first, and then they'll shoot at the Fat Boy. So maybe that'll give a slight advantage, but I wouldn't bet on it, and you don't want to really just burn a Monkey Lord for essentially no value. I mean, not essentially no value in that situation, but it's just not a good situation. Just essentially trading Fat Boy shots. And it depends where on the map they are. If Team 2 has their Fat Boys in their base, it means Team 1's right about here. And that's going to put Reclaim in the middle of the map. That's going to be hard to get at versus having them in their base. And yeah, we do see that Cascade is falling back. There's that Fat Boy that's now trying to secure the Reclaim for Team 2, as well as all of the everything pushing in from Yoji. We do see that Yoji claims the base from Velarone, so he has double base now. So the highest rated players on each team have a double base. Eco is about the same. When it's about 100 or so ahead, it's not a terrible amount to be ahead. And then obviously as the number goes up in that spread, or the lead stays the same, the percentage-wise, it really doesn't make a difference. Because, again, 1,000 versus 900 is a little different between 5,000 and 400 and 4,900. So the percentage-wise does make a difference. So just to point it out. Anyway, northeastern corner, everything's dead up there. So Team 1's going to probably rebuild at some point, but it's going to take a minute if they decide to do so. Anyways, Clinch hiding in kind of a weird spot. You wouldn't expect them to be here. Either here or even down here or somewhere else, but not up there. So that's nice use of hiding spots. We did see Genino was down here as well when he was going for the shield and nano upgrades, which he's done with both of those and is now hiding in that pond. We have a Megalith online. Monkey Lord being shot at by those Fat Boys. Dropping hit points. Almost dead. Fat Boy coming in range here for Amygdala. Fat Boy still moving in. Looks like maybe not transferred over. This one is owned by Mouse Mayhem, and we have two Fat Boys back to back for Cascade. He has a Monkey Lord almost done, so he's gonna have two Monkey Lords. I can't speak right now. Two Fat Boys plus a third Fat Boy from Amygdala plus another Fat Boy or two inbound. There's just ice cream sandwich machines just cooking over there for Team 1. They just constantly like make the ice cream sandwich. Just go, 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 go. It's like you're, at 10 o'clock at night, you got the munchies and you want some ice cream. Everybody goes there at 10 o'clock for whatever reason. All at once. Not, 9, not 9:30, not 10:30, 10. Everybody shows up. We took forever to get our ice cream. It was insane. I'm like, why? This is like, it's a Tuesday or Wednesday at 10 o'clock at night and everybody's here getting ice cream. It was nuts. There's good ice cream, to be fair. So, it's not like it's some random, McDonald's ice cream. It was like a legit, not Cold Stone, but kind of a Cold Stone environment, company, I should say. Brick, if you're familiar with Cold Stone. We do see Megalith. It's just a bullet sponge for these Fat Boys. I just don't like it because that's a lot of hit points. It's very powerful experimental. It's just constantly being peppered to death by that Fat Boy. We have a Fat Boy coming in from the north. This might start being a little bit of a squeeze for Team 1 against Team 2. You have one here. We're talking about Fat Boy. We have three right here. Tac Nuke started on board Cascade. Of course, he has the regular missile on board. Doesn't have T3, which is interesting, but he does have some T3 engineers nearby. That'll probably help a lot loading and building the upgrade and the whatnot. We do see T2 artillery being built to try to, again, push back slowly. I do like this. Team 1 isn't just going to be full sending it as fast as possible. They just gain some territory, build up defenses, gain some territory, build up some defenses, gain some territory, build up defenses. And that not only ensures that Team 1 is still, slowly pushing. If they have to fall back, it's a lot harder for Team 2 to retake it because there's all this infrastructure built in. And there's only three Fat Boys now online. Nuke is done and is loading now for Evan. So first strategic missile launcher has been spotted. Awasa Bomber is now online. Do you even have air control? Yeah. Let's see. That is not the right button. That's the right button. 100 ASS for Team 1, and Jenana has 75. So it's close. Bomber. Oh, that's going to hurt. That's a lot of dead Percy's for Team 1's Amygdala. Yep, that entire army just went gone. See ya, bye. Veterancy, not yet, but halfway to its first star veterancy. Nice grab there from Mint Alex. Nuke is online for Team 1 and is loading, so it's going to be a race to Apocalypse for Team 1 and Team 2. Heavy assistance. I don't see a lot of loading. Oh, yeah, because he doesn't really have a lot of mass in this bar. Not mass at all to be able to load the thing. Closing in about 50%. The one for Clinch is still taking a while. Lots of hives for him. That's a ton of hives. It feels like I'm playing casting a Phantom game with all those hives. We do see Megalith. Again, the same situation, but in reverse. Team 1 is shooting at the Fat Boy. Fat Boys is shooting at the Megalith for Team 2. And I feel like it's just, again, it's a bullet sponge. Yeah, it's going to do a lot of damage eventually to the crab, but is it worth the crab to just sit there and take the shots? We have Yoji cloaking laser online. I love the cloaking laser strat. It's a very good strat. The only problem with it, you can easily counter it with just a Omni sensor. That's it. It's just passive. It works. If you're in range, you're spotted. Good luck. We have some Corsairs inbound going for the Fat Boy from Team 2's Yoji. There are some parashields nearby. Do they save it? Just barely don't. And there goes a just for good measure. Like, you're going to die. It's not going to feel good one way or the other. So Corsairs, Fat Boy Fire, and a Billy Nuke say, no, no, no. No Fat Boy for you. Yoji, You didn't say the magic word. Bomber did land a second payload. And Transport picked up Amygdala, getting him out of there. Is it T3 at least? It's if you just had it on hand, I would understand why. But UBF Transport, might as well get a Continental just because. Why not? Just to protect that commander. Bomber is down here. ASF's moving in to protect it in case the ASFs from Team 1 intercept. And as much it's better to just kill the thing off without it dropping another payload, there is the downside of these air forces are going to engage. And, you got to move to the middle. You got to move to the middle because it's going to drop a payload on a bunch of Fat Boys. That's going to be a nice little AoE on both of them. Won't kill them, but will do some damage. ASFs are inbound. That bomber's going to go home. But if you let the bomber drop, you do damage to whatever it's shooting at or dropping a bomb at. But then you'll probably kill it. Moving into the base to go to kill it, the reclaim from the wreck from the bomber will land, in this scenario on Team 2 side, and then the ASFs engage, and all of those wrecks will land on Team 2 side of the map. And it's just, is it worth it? Ooh, another bomb drop, and Mint Alex is being very sneaky with it. Is Team 1's going to go for it? They're going to chase after it, but no, they're going to intercept the ASFs anyways, and it's going to be a fight over Team 2 side of the map. There's some AA in the area. There's just tons of Billy Nukes landing. Dang, just constant with that thing. Clinch loses all of his ASFs pretty much. Team 2 has air dominance, if not supremacy, and they have a bomber. They didn't even kill the bomb. Team 1 didn't kill the bomber off, so nice grab there from Team 2. Bomber transferred over to Jenna from Mint Alex. He got what he wanted out of it. Nuke not online, but it is fired. Please tell me you built an SMD nearby. It's going to be close. And I don't think that SMD is even in. It is. Technically it is. The SMD is going to load in time. It's going to be super close, but it's going to beat it. And there's the 1 out of 7. If Team 1 didn't line up the SMD's range correctly, this nuke will not land. There it is. There's the shot. And the nuke from Team 2 is saved, and it's almost lit and now loaded. Where is it going to go from Team 2 onto Team 1? You have to have an SMD somewhere. There's no way you don't. There's one there. It's not loaded. There's one up there. That's loaded, but it's way over to the side. Team 1, do you have a backup one? You do have one there. That's just built. That's not good. If Team 2 fires it sooner rather than later, they will net a hefty air grid prize. But they're not firing it. The longer that goes on, the better Team 1's chances are of surviving the nuke. We do see some whalers inbound, but they're going to be very coy about even engaging. Nuke is outbound. Where is it going? Is it going for the air grid? Where is it going? It does make a difference where it's... it's going... Not up here. There's an SMD there, and it's already loaded. It's going west. That's... missed opportunity. But to be fair, that is... been a thorn in Team 2 side for a while now. There's now 2 bombers overhead. I feel like between these 2 bombers, they could have killed that base off pretty quickly. Yeah, they probably would have lost 1, but they would have come in and secured the wreck anyway, or the reclaim anyways. Kaboom! It does kill some main facilities offline. It's front line, all that stuff. Now the bombers are inbound. They're going to do some cleanup duty. The nuke killed off 54,000. I mean, it's a really good nuke mass kill-wise. So, not dogging it by any means, but I feel like the air grid was probably a better target, to be fair. Because this SMD was not loaded, wasn't going to be loaded in time. That's a new one. That's a new one. And that one, as long as they skated it by, at least they put it right about like there. They could have even put it right here, and they could have landed it on the nuke and killed it. So, missed opportunity. Bomber inbound. That's a lot of Cougar fire. Shields hold. And yeah, there goes that bomber. Well, they got revenge. Oh, second bomber inbound. Gonna drop right on top of Cascade. Cascade, goodbye. Kaboom! Nice kill there from Team 2's Jenana. And bomber lands and kills off 2 T3 mixes on top of it. Team 1 loses their second high. Well, actually, they're tied highest rated player, being Ogpuck, and then right after him, of course, Cascade. It's now a 4v3 in favor for Team 2 once again. And everything goes over to Amygdala. Not nukes, but oh, that's just a whaler like, you know, not suicide, but just a massacre from Team 2. Oof, that's gotta hurt. They were going after Jenana's comm. Evans next door to that. SMD not loaded. SMD is not loaded. Not an SMD. Nuke is almost loaded. Oh, that was oof. First bomber came in and he was like, "Yeah, no, it's fine. You know, I can deal with this." Second bomber came in and that was the end of that. That's unfortunate, but it happens from time to time. So you just got to be prepared for all eventualities. I think Team 1 was aware of the second bomber, maybe not, but 5 Fat Boys plus a monkey that Cascade built a while ago, if it's the same one, and now a new crab. So that's a lot of Fat Boys. I don't say a lot of mass. It also isn't a lot of mass. We have 3 Fat Boys here and then 2 over here. So Team 2 also has 6 if you count the one that's now inbound. That's a lot. It's a lot of mobile artillery. We have 2 Fat Boys over here, so technically if you include those 7, but they're way out of range, so not really a major concern by any means. Oh, please tell me that the Cougars are going to shoot at the gun. Yep. Ooh, yeah, the gunships take some damage there. But there's also T2 artillery for Team 1. Team 1 is going to benefit from the fact that Team 2 is targeting that instead of the Fat Boys. The Fat Boys actually fall back and don't take advantage of the initial focus fire. There's 2 more Fat Boys inbound. It's going to be a little bit of a trading situation here, maybe for Team 1 and Team 2. Lots of parashields there are going to help keep those Fat Boys online just a tiny bit longer. A nuke, honestly, right about here would do massive damage. So even if they don't go after the facilities, another Billy Nuke online for Team 1. Looks like it's probably Mouse. Yep. And there she is. Yep. Again, 3 UEFs per team, 6 total. Somebody's going to pull out the satellite at some point. And artillery has been started in the air grid for Team 2's Jenana. Another bomber has been started. Bomber inbound for the land army. It's going to do some damage to those Percies. They're not going to have a fun day or the next day when they wake up. Oh, look at all that T3 support just getting wiped out. ASF's inbound. There's been some AA, at least mainly mobile, that's been built. Satellite now moving over top, so they're going to get a nice view of what Team 2 is up to. Not a lot of focus down on this southwestern corner. The nuke kind of killed all momentum for both teams. Wasn't really any focus down there. Lot E storage ready for TP, says Velarone. I would assume artillery piece right there is what he's building it for. We'll see. Nuke is loaded, so it's primed up, ready to go. Just have not found a target. Counter satellite coming online. And now it's going to be satellite. Ooh, another satellite and another satellite. Ooh. Nuke inbound from Team 1. It's going... I mean, it is going to kill off 6 T3 mexes, so that's not to, you know, say, hey, it's not worth the nuke by any means, but I feel like this would have been better. You can see Yoji spreading him out, spreading his Fat Boys out just in case. Nice micro there. Bomber does drop a payload kind of out the side door there. Here comes the nuke. And a little bit of Cougar fire. It's going to do some damage to the eco for Team 2's Evan. Kills off 4 of the 6 T3 mixes, but kaboom! Another nuke inbound counter from Team 2. And ooh, that SMD might grab that actually. Oh yeah, it's gonna grab that. because there's a little bit of a arc when it lands. So even if you edge nuke it correctly, you have to actually account for that tiny little ink. And this is what usually gets those nukes killed. Yep, right there, right when it made that last little net, right there. That's how it got shot down. Rip. Oh, it's saved. Haha. Cascade's like, haha. So you got to edge nuke it just a tiny bit further away. Satellite moving in northward. Satellite over the top of T3 mexes. Going after the eco. One of the best things to use the satellite for is wipe out all of the unshielded eco. That's how many T3 mexes times how many non-shields are online. Bomber is shot down. Most of the AA is gone, however, but the bomber is dead, so that is reclaimed for Team 1. But I mean, this is 27 mass, 27 mass, 27 mass, and then these two are going to be 27 mass. So that's 135 per second that Yoji's not getting anymore soon. He's lost 81 now, given the 3 that are dead. We have gunships inbound. Tons of ASFs get wiped out once again for Team 1's clinch. And Team 2 retains, essentially, is it re-own air at this point? Nah, it's getting there, but not there yet. It's still air supremacy. Mex is being eliminated by a ton of broadswords. There has been some AA defenses built in a little bit of time ago, so they'll eventually be dealt with, but not before all that stuff is killed off. We have 2 satellites over top of Team 1, but they're not on the same location. Another satellite started for Team 1. Amygdala building it. Another artillery, this time for Team 1. Look at the air grid. The air grid is gone. I didn't know this is one up here from Yoji, so did a great job of wiping out a ton of air. Artillery started for clinch in the northwest corner, and I think all the gunships are dead. No, there's like 1 or 2 gunships remaining, but the AA is focusing on the gunships. They've wiped them out. Now the air is just going to sit there. That's not a good thing to do. And the 1, 2, 3, 4 Fat Boys. 1, 2, 3 Fat Boys for Team 2. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Fat Boys. And there's still the 2 up there, so Moss really hanging on to those 2 Fat Boys he built earlier. But we have 2, 3 satellites, maybe more on the way. We have Evan going for an upgrade. His shield is now online. He has shield RAS and nano. Artillery is not done. Did they cancel that? I swear there was an artillery piece that was being built. But artillery is now started for Evan in his base. Ooh, the nuke got wiped out. Oh, that's unfortunate. And I think it was, no, it wasn't loaded because it launched here. Maybe there's one loaded after that, but it still launched the one that I was thinking about. One of the worst things to see is just a wasted nuke. You never want to see a wasted nuke. And a wasted nuke, I mean, is it's loaded in the silo and the silo is destroyed. Now, if the nuke is sent off somewhere that it's not killing anything off, yeah, that's kind of a wasted nuke, but the thing was at least launched. There's at least some purpose behind launching it in that location. The other situation, yeah, it's dead. All that mass, all that power, all that time just wasted. And it happens. It's sad when it happens, but it does happen. And 2 Monkey Lords just going to walk down all of the everything from Team 2. Again, probably not a good idea. And there's 2 more Monkey Lords. There's 4 Monkey Lords. There's 4 Monkey Lords, 4 Fat Boys, and a Partridge and a Pear Tree. And we have another satellite. This one's not even moving. It's right there. Look at it. Right there. Right there. Just need more AA, says Cascade. And we have Fat Boys crushing the eastern side. So Team 2 is being slowly hemmed in. They are expanding a little bit in that southwestern corner finally, but it's going to take a while to really get something online. And there's just a couple of Percys just wandering around. And a combatant preset SACU just having some fun down there. Killing off whatever AA engineers that are down there. We have artillery being built by Team 2, backed up by Yoji's commander and the other Fat Boys that are there. Actually, Fat Boy, because the other one died. There's one there and one there. Another bomb. What is this, number 4 built by Team 2? That's a lot of Fat Boys. Not a lot of Fat Boys. That's a lot of Awasa bombers built. And they're going straight for those fatties. And that Fat Boy taking some actual hull plating damage. Shield is going to deplete. And actually, I think just in time for this one to almost die. It's not going to actually get killed off. And the bomber gets killed up, but the wreck does land essentially right in front of that Fat Boy. His shield goes down. That's not fun. That Fat Boy is dead. Some bombers killed that thing off. Some T3 strap ones. But a lot a lot of T3AA SAM sites built by Mouse eviscerates that thing. Fat Boys traded, but there's 2 dead Fat Boys for Team 1, 1 dead Fat Boy for Team 2. This one survives. Push Fatty, says Cascade. And that might work. 48 minutes on the clock. He has, again, 1, 2, 3 monkeys. That one did die, plus a crab, plus 4 fatties. That's a lot of firepower. Team 2 needs something heavy, or just a lot of it, or both, or something. They have a crab that'll soak up some damage. The monkeys, if they can get in range, will do a lot of damage with the laser. That monkey will die, so 2 of them are dead, 2 of them remain. And the monkey's, of course, going to be the prelude to the inbound crab. And that's not going to last much longer. There goes another Fat Boy, another Monkey Lord. And this Monkey Lord receiving damage from both the laser from Yoji and the crab of Yoji. And if Team 1 sees him, that'll be the death of Yoji. They don't see him yet. Keep my eyes on him, looking at where everybody else is on the map. Monkey on the south side of the map doing a lot of damage to just whatever's down there. Percy's on the eastern edge of the map. And Yoji's still alive, hanging out down there. Really doing a great job. If Team 1 doesn't notice, that's going to be a nice grab there. And then he's going to start to retreat. He would easily die. Is there ground firing going down from Team 1? Do they see him? Oh, they see him now. Percy's open up. Fat Boy switch targets onto the comm. Oh, look at all the damage all around him. 50,000 mass killed with the comm alone. Now he's losing a lot of hit points. The ground firing has commenced, at least in part. They know he's there. Oh, they're doing a lot of damage. There's Fat Boys. That one isn't even shielded yet. Or still shielded. Oh, drop him below 5,000 hit points. 3,000, 2,000. Can't catch up to his Fat Boy shields. And it doesn't matter. Percy hits him anyways. Nice grab there from Team 1's Amygdala. Drops his game to a tie game. Once again, 3v3. Nuke inbound. Guess where they're going? Right there. Those Fat Boys don't move. Those are all dead Fat Boys. Looks like he's going to spread him out. That one goes east, but there's a short travel time for that. And I don't think he's going to grab all 4, but he's going to grab at least 2, if not the third one. Nope, doesn't grab the third one, but kaboom! Wipes out 2 Fat Boys there. Cuts the attack power in half. And now this one's going to die. Well, this one was kind of on his way out. That was the one that was already damaged. We have Fat Boy down here. No shield on it. He has a parachute following him. 50 minutes on the clock. Strap bombers inbound. I wonder what those strap bombers are going after. They're going after that one, which I feel like they don't need to they don't need to put all of their bombers on one Fat Boy. They only need 4 technically. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then all of the no reclaim for Team 1 at all with that. I hear an explosion. I'm assuming it's an SACU somewhere, probably. Air being slowly picked apart by the AA from Team 1. The Monkey Lord was eventually killed off. Looks like it was in the water when it died. And we have 2 more satellites inbound. Did this one die off? Looks like the one from Cascade did end up being killed off there. That's unfortunate. Artillery is done. Artillery is done. This Team 2 artillery is done. No, it's not. And another bomber almost done for Mint Alex. That's what, number 5, number 6? And with the death of Yoji, everything goes over to Evan. And it's Evan, Mint Alex, and Jenana versus Team 1's Amygdala, Clench, and Mouse. I didn't even talk about like halftime because everything was kicking off at that time. 51 minutes. It's still any team's game at this point. We have satellites over both teams. Let me know down in the comments who you think is going to currently win. It's 1.5 to 1.1k mass income in favor for Team 1. Let me know because, again, like I said, it can go either way. The only thing, of course, that kind of gives me an inkling to maybe Team 1 is there's 2 artillery pieces. Team 2 has none. They do have a nuke, though, so that could even things out, maybe, if the satellites go after all of the S&Ds built, but there's a lot of them. So there's the thing. Another satellite done for Amygdala. Thanks so much for watching to this point in the video. Hopefully you enjoy. And if you made it this far, you might as well watch to the end to see who wins, because it's not going to be that far off before the game ends. It's just slightly before an hour. It's like 57, 58 minutes or something. Something like that. Maybe it's almost 59. It's somewhere in around there. And artillery landing on where the satellites are. Ooh, again, there's 2 artillery shots inbound. Pretty simultaneously, one after the other. New satellite started. Or sorry, artillery shot. Satellite almost done. For Mouse, he's building another one there, so he's going to have 2 shortly. more satellites for Team 1? Nope, just the 3 so far. At least for Amygdala. Ooh, shielding's collapsing around the artillery emplacement. We have 2 satellites overhead trying to go after those generators. And this would be a good spot to put an artillery piece. A lot of shielding surrounding those P-gems. And there's just 1 shielding surrounding a T3 mix down there. And the air is just getting butchered. Just all of the AA that's been built over time. Yeah, that can't be. Oh, I was going to say, there's no way. It's just 1 UEF. 66 of the UEF style SAM sites, and I would assume there's some Cybran ones. No Cybran one. Oh no, there's got to be. There's a Soothsayer there. But yeah, I don't see a Cybran one, at least off first glance. And then of course all the ones up here to the north. And another satellite is done. Another one again is on the way. We have another artillery piece done. Not done, but soon to be done for clinch. And this position for Team 2 not looking good. Shielding is not being assisted, so that's not helpful. That P-gen, I mean, these are all weakened, so it could be just a huge cascade. Shielding is down. Nuke is vulnerable. It has taken some damage. 89,000 mass killed, though, so that's something. All those engineers die. That's not good. There goes the Nuke, and there goes the huge cascade. Oh, it only takes 1 to set off a cascade. Ouch, and those 2 of the 3 satellites gone for Team 2's Evans. Sorry, Evan, not Evans. Evan underscore. Or Evan space or whatever. Even space, something. Anyway. Megalith. Fat Boy. I don't know if it's going to be enough. Team 1 has 3 monkeys, 4 monkeys, 5 monkeys, 6 monkeys, 7. 1 Fat Boy. That's a lot of monkey firepower. We have 1 Fat Boy from the north. We have another satellite. We have another satellite. So there's a lot of firepower for Team 1 just hanging out over here. And that momentum is slowly diminishing. I don't think they're going to get as far as they really want to. And here comes the Monkey Lords. They're inbound. Again, 1 or 2 probably won't make it to their targets, but they're still going to do damage. The other ones will. Billy Nuke inbound from Mouse. That's a nicely placed one. It's going to kill off maybe something, unless the satellite has something to say about it. And it's still alive. Looks like the Fat Boy, not Fat Boy, but the Billy Nuke is going to miss. That Monkey Lord's dead. That one's almost dead. This one pretty close to death. Actually, it does grab that Fat Boy. Nice grab there. That one dies to the satellite, dies to the satellite, leaving 2 megaliths left. And at that point, it's not really going to matter. Artillery, of course, has dealt with the last satellite. Now going after the air grid. And about half or so of the air grid is down. Pausing and whatnot for whatever happened, misclick or whatever. Satellite now done. Again for Mouse, we have a couple of P-gens or the remaining wrecks that have been claimed yet from the old air grid. Clinch almost done with his 2nd artillery piece. That's 3 for Team 1. We have a bomber that landed over here on top of Amygdala's comm. He's fine though. And Explosion in the middle goes. Well, he tries to go after the megaliths, but I don't think it's going to work. Looks like megaliths are being denied, or something's going on down there. What are they? They're just targeting everything down there. Looks like T2 artillery, T3 mobile artillery, whatever could be a threat. That megalith is dead. And the artillery raining in on the air grid here for Jenna. Not looking good. Teleporter is coming online. He has Splash on board already, so he could try to go for a last-ditch snipe attempt. It takes longer to do that one than it does the Cybran one, just because the laser versus the splash. But it does still do damage, and it does damage pretty quickly, to be fair. It's not as fast, so maybe the upgrade will finish. Team 1's ignoring his base. Teleporter's 70% in climbing. He's got to build it, and then, of course, fuel it and actually go over there. 3 satellites, 2 satellites, another satellite. Lots of satellites in the air for Team 1. They're going after Jenna. He's losing hit points pretty darn quick. There's a P-gen and mass fab little grid there. That's not good. Don't stand next to that. That could blow up, do some damage to him. Shields are down. Oh, it's right there. Transport hanging right next to Evan. And the teleporter is done, and he's going for it. I might have to split things up in a moment because Jenna is going to die. Artillery lands right next to the P-gen. Almost kills it off. The generator's down. Jenna, not looking good. I'm going to slow things down just for a moment so I can give some time for myself to split things off so I can track with the comm of Alex is going. He's going right for Cascade. Not going for Cascade. Going for Amygdala. You can see the teleport right there. And there's Jenna's comm killed off by satellites. There's a peach. You could do some AoE against Evan's comm. There's the teleportation from Mint. And he goes for Amygdala. He's not firing yet. Oh, not looking good. And he's losing hit points. There's PD in the base. In Mint's going to walk right next to a P-Gen. That's not fun. There's actually a Fat Boy shooting at him. Corsair's coming in. Lovely attempt. It doesn't work. And that leaves Evan remaining. Never mind. He's gone. Team 2 loses their last 3 remaining commanders back to back to back. Team 1 wins the game. 58 minutes. Almost on the dot. Couldn't just be one more second sooner, and it would have been a nice little even 58 minutes. But Team 1 wins it. And it was definitely a back and forth for a while, but I think once the death of Yoji happened, it kind of was slowly starting to favor Team 1, and Team 1 heavily invested in long-range weaponry, whether it was satellites or it was artillery. Yeah, both teams had a nuke, so they both had some long-range tech, but not really invested it. Team 2 did, like Team 1 did. I mean, they built a couple of satellites, but I mean, it was helping, but not a whole ton. They did kill off the nuke for Team 1 with it, so there's that. But Team 1 went full send it. I mean, especially after Clinch lost his air grid, he's like, well, what am I going to do with all my mass? I'm just going to build an artillery with it. And then he built the second one with it, and that really kind of put a hamper on Team 2's the everything. And there was a Monkey Lord. There was units on the ground inbound from the north. So it was just, it was going to crash one way or the other. It was a nice explosive way to go out for Team 2. So there's the game there. In terms of MVP... I mean, Mouse did a pretty good job on the eastern side. Clinch did a decent job in the air. But I think Amygdala... I mean, Cascade was doing a really good job, too, in the middle before he died. But I think Amygdala, having that base on the western side really being a thorn in Team 2's side. And then, of course, taking over for Cascade and just driving it home. Especially down the middle, going all the Fat Boys. Team 2 put a lot of effort on the land. Team 1 countered with their own land. And it just didn't really work, essentially, for either team. Eventually it kind of worked for Team 1, but that was just because of the collapse of everything. But I just think overall Amygdala did a very good job. Obviously avoided a kill or death. Got out of there. Did have the shield, so that shield, without it, they would have survived, but still only been about 3,500 hit points. But that's why you have a shield on board, just in case somebody does something funky or crazy. But again, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you haven't, because why not at this point, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. And I will see all of you in the next one.